Alrighty, it is July 3rd and it is, I think, around 11:15, and it says it's about 78 degrees here in the shop. So what we've got set up is our honey extraction system. Got our uncapping bin, our frames from the field, uncapping bin, our radial extractor I'll show you here in a second, and then as it comes out the gate, goes through a couple of filters or screens and drops into our collection bucket, which is kind of a, right now we don't have it all set up yet. We don't have all our pieces in, so we're kind of hodgepodging today, but I think we'll get through it. We're going to take out some honey, and I'll take you off the tripod here and run you through this before we start getting messy. Here we go. So this is our little assembly line here. This is our field bucket that we pulled in from the field. We got 3 frames here from Abbee, and then the 2 partial frames. Beetrice has honey bands at the top. But we're gonna be using this field box as an uncapping station. We're gonna take off all those wax caps and save that wax, and then hopefully reclaim a little bit of the honey that comes out with it, and then we'll put them in the extractor. Here's one of those partial frames. We've cut off the brood comb, and we've had it on fan for a couple of days, trying to dry out a little bit of the nectar that we have in here. So we got a couple of partial combs. Not sure how well they'll spin. That's good stuff. And then it goes into this 3-frame extractor here. You load it into the cage right there. 3 large laying frames. You start cranking it around. It's got a free wheel on it. Of course, you put the lid down. Crank it around. Once it slings the honey out, drops down to this honey gate, goes through our couple of screens just to knock off all the big stuff. We're not doing an ultra purification here. And we're going to swap out bowls. Like I said, we are eventually going to have some square food safe buckets with another honey gate. So as the honey comes out of here, goes through our filtration, it's going to land in our collection bin, and it'll have another honey gate. So then we'll be able to take out that bin, set it up on a table or a countertop, and then control the flow from there, put it into jars and whatever containers we want to do it in. But that's our little, that's our workflow. And so we're going to get after taking off some caps here in a second, and then loading up the extractor and seeing what we can do. Ooh, look at that. Liquid gold. The whole point of spinning is so that you keep a lot of your existing comb. It saves your bees from having to do a lot of extra work next year. They could put more energy into producing more of this good stuff instead of having to rebuild comb every year. So we're going to take our small tool here, and we're going to just get these couple of areas we can't really reach. And again, I think switching to that full wax sheet foundation is going to help to alleviate some of this burr comb activity, some of this Some people call it wild comb, which it is. It's allowing them to do what they want to do. It's definitely been a wild ride this spring, early summer. Taking care of our little bee babies. But if you don't struggle a little bit, it ain't worth it, right? Man, that's good. I'm a salty, crunchy guy, and that's good. But like I was saying, the reason I wanted a little bit higher temperature was so that your honey flows out a little better. Now we're going to put this frame in right side up as I'm holding it here, but there are some people using this extractor say do it upside down, because the bee cells are actually built at an angle to hold the honey in. So they, if you are looking, if you're looking at the side of the comb, the cells are actually built up at a slight angle. So they say put them in upside down so the honey flows out that way. We're going to try to do it. We're going to try to do it as instructed. There's 3 frames, 3 full-ish frames of wax cappings. So like I said, we use this one. This one tends to clog up a little bit. I'm not sure if I'm using it quite correctly. This fork, actually for me right now as a complete novice, did better for me to just rake all these cappings and just kind of pop them off like that. And you just roll them back and allow that honey to come out. So this stuff you strain out, you let your honey go through, and then you take all your wax cappings, your burr comb, propolis, all that good stuff from your inspections. You render the pure beeswax out of it. So again, these guys are incredible about all their uses. And then we have our frames. You'll notice some of the honey's already dripping down to the bottom. This has a conical, it's got a very shallow cone in the bottom. So it pushes all the honey to the outside, and then over to the white gate, over to the honey gate on that side. But we've got all 3 frames in here loaded up, and so we're getting ready to spin out some honey. Yeah, we got honey down in the bottom. So we did 1 spin. What is that? I guess that's clockwise. So now we're going to do a second spin counterclockwise, which is the opposite of clockwise. We got honey. I like hearing it hit the walls. Sounds like flavor.
So this is 3 frames. First batch in the honey spinner.
Yep. And this is why I've got it braced onto this pallet, because you can hear it kind of wobbling, so it's getting a little uneven. And so we did 1 spin each direction. Now we've got to turn the frames around, and the walls that are facing inside, we now face them outside and sling that out. Did you see it, Nani?
I'm trying to see how much is in there.
This is around the bottom. Yep. Now we haven't pushed down the sides, but that's all 5 frames spun into the bottom of the container. And I don't know if I can get it from here. Very good shot. We're at the top. That white thing, the little crescent white thing, is the top of the honey gate over there. So what that means is that we've got about 2 inches of honey around the outer rim there. And so what we are about to do, come to this side. This is the moment of truth. We're about to open the honey gate, run it through our filters, and then we will have ready to go honey. There we go. Look at all that. All that pure, dark honey from the hill country. Into the sieves. And then we've got nice, clear honey. Man, if I drop my phone in this stuff. What do you think, Nani?
That's more honey than I thought we were gonna get.
Yeah. What's Nani looking at? Ooh, we still got, there's a good bit left in there. That's kind of, that conical bottom is a little bit deceptive.
We need a bigger bowl.
We're gonna need to swap out our bowls. I'm gonna let this finish a little bit, and then we'll pour it off into the pitcher.